What up, guys? Deep3 here, back again with another Deep3 reviews, and today we're going to be talking about PSA economy submissions are back. I've been working on this submission for about a week now. 22 bucks a card for grading, and I want to show you guys what I'm going to be sending in. But before that, I'd like to talk about what type of cards should you guys be sending in. So my advice to you guys that are sending in cards for economy, chances are a lot of base cards are going to be sent in, a lot of prisms and parallel cards. The key goal right now is if you decide to send anything, you might want to send cards that are valued between $40 to $100 per card. Now, there's a very clear reason why I'm doing this, and I do break this rule a few times in my own submission. But when you send a card between $30 and $50, if you are sending it in hopes of getting a PSA 10, usually the multiplier on a modern card you can expect to have is between 3 to 5 times the raw card value. So, for example, if you're sending in a $50 card, it'll probably be $199, $200 value. That's because the economy rate for submitting cards is $22 per card, and the max declared value is $199. If PSA exceeds that value, or if they say it exceeds that value, you'll be pushed up to standard economy for the rating, standard rating, which would be $30 a card. So you'll get like an $8 upcharge per card that ends up being valued higher than $200. Things to keep in mind: $8, being upcharged after getting a PSA 10, though, very low risk to you, because then you'll know that you'll be getting a PSA 10. So that's very, very good news for you. If you end up hitting a 9 on a card, for example, instead of the 10, you won't get an upcharge, obviously, because it won't be valued higher than that. But things to consider. That's why you want to grade things between the $30 to $100 price range. And when you're declaring the PSA grading prices, make sure you're declaring what you think the card will be worth after it is graded. So that's what I've done with these 30 cards here. I don't think any of these will exceed $200, especially right now. Basketball is not being played. So we'll see what happens with that. You don't want it to get an upcharge, of course. But in the back are some other cards that I had considered grading, but I decided not to. This one had a ding, for example. This one had some hollow peeling. This one had a peeled edge on it. Make sure to look at all the factors, of course. This isn't a how to grade video by any means, but if we do want one in the future, like the video, let me know in the comments. I'll show you guys how to send a PSA submission in and what you should be looking for when it comes to grading to get yourself the highest results. So first card up on the list here is a Jalen Green NBA Hoops card. So it is the lowest end of paper stocks, but it is an ultra rare anniversary edition card. I'm sending this in because I think it's a 10. Again, this card goes for around $50, $60 raw, and if it happens to hit a 10, it could exceed 200, but I don't think it will. At the same time, I kind of hope it does. So if they do charge me the $8 surcharge or upcharge on it, I have no problem with that. I would be absolutely, flabbergasted if it was a 10, and I'd be extremely excited. We got here a Purple Shark Lamelo. Again, another well-centered card here. Top to bottom looks good. A lot of these, I only send cards that I think will be 10s. So we're going to keep on continuing on. So you're going to see that trend here. Prism, Purple Wave, Franz Wagner. I like the player a lot. Condition on centering on this, very, very good. Hopefully he does well. Again, a lot of these cards are just going to be under $100 raw. Select numbers, LaMelo Ball, Blue Shimmer. Team color match, just an insert. Again, nothing. You're going to notice a lot of these cards are not insanely high value that I send in, but they are nice looking cards. And I also made another caveat when I send these cards in, that if they don't sell, or if they don't reach the value that I like, these are cards that I'm more than happy to keep in my personal collection. Jalen Green, guy who's from my hometown. Numbered to 149 on this one. Picked it up for around $45. If we can, PSA 10 this, also I'd be ecstatic. I have a lot of Jalen Green. You'll see in this stack here. Some photogenic here as well. tons of photogenic in the past, if you've watched the other videos. Thicker cards tend to be more difficult to grade, but I looked at these very carefully. Centering looks really, really good on both of these. Top to bottom looks good. I don't see soft corners on any of them yet. Edges look great, and I have looked at these very, very carefully. Next one up, we got an unforgettable photogenic Trae Young. Love that bow against the Knicks. You know, bad manners and all. Big Trae Young fan, so if this comes back a 10, absolutely ecstatic for this one. It is for the PC, so I think it'll look fantastic in a PSA slab, red and white, to go with the card's color scheme. Next one up, we got a tunnel version of Stephen Curry die cut. I didn't expect to want to send this one, but for economy, this is the type of stuff you'd want to send. I think it's very, very well centered. I think it has a very good chance of being a PSA 10, and the edges look very, very good. So, yeah, definitely excited to see how this one comes back. Next one up here is Fluid of James Wiseman. Now, this is where I break my rule a little bit here, kind of, but we'll see what happens. At this very moment, this Fluid card is a red from Flux insert, numbered to 25, which is pretty short printed. You'd think the card would be worth a lot more, but because James Wiseman has not played for pretty much a whole year and a half, his value is down even though the Warriors have won. Because this submission is a 4-month time frame for them to grade it. NBA season starts in less than a month. We will see what happens with James Wiseman. If he performs very, very well, this price might go up, and PSA might value it higher than what it's actually being sold for right now, which would affect the surcharge. So I would probably get pushed up to like 300 instead of 200 on this one. So we'll see what happens. Excited to see where this one goes. Let's see here, gotta fix this. Okay, continuing on, we have a LaMelo Ball green ice from Select. Again, another just fantastic rookie card to have. A lot of these already exist in a PSA 10, so the market is there for the card, and I think it's just a very nice card. I actually have a stack of like 15 LaMelo Balls from Select. This was the only one that made the cut, in my opinion, to be a PSA 10. Centering tends to be more difficult on these chrome stock cards, so I had to look at these very, very carefully. Top to bottom, left to right, all looks very, very good on this one. Next one up, Uniformity LaMelo Ball. This is from Contenders Optic. This is more of a PC card, if anything, but it does have one potential soft corner here. This one might come back a PSA 9, most likely. The rest of the card looks exquisite. Can't really say much about it. Surface is very, very clean, but if it does come back a 9, I think that's okay. I haven't seen any listed recent comps of this in a PSA 10, so if we end up being the first one, that would be fantastic. Next one up here, we have a Select Retail of Courtside LaMelo Ball. I actually had 2 of these to look at, and thought this one looked the best. It is the highest rarity. Not really sure how this one's going to go. It could be a 9, it could be a 10, obviously. I am shooting for a 10 for a lot of these submissions. On almost all of them. It is a 30 card submission as well. Same thing with this one. Very, very hard for me to tell from the surface. Disco, Fast Break, Mosaic on the True Rookie, as well as this National Pride. From what I can tell on the back, centering looks really, really clean. Surface looks very, very clean. But maybe PSA will see something that I don't. But if it were my opinion, PSA 10. And the same goes with these Flux cards here. LaMelo Ball, Silver Flux, LaMelo Ball, Blue Flux. Really, really clean looking cards. I'm a big fan of Flux itself, and I really want these to be 10s as well. I mean, everything I want to be a 10. Let's just be clear. We all want things to be 10s, but they might not all be 10s. My success rate is pretty high, but how high can it get? So Halliburton here as well. National Pride on the Disco. Next one up is the Rookies, Evan Mobley Silver. This one I got in a break. I mean, Evan Mobley bigs are just generally disrespected in the hobby. The only thing I think this card could have a flaw on is this dimple on the very top. There's one tiny little dot there, but we'll see how that one goes. These two cards here I am sending for a customer. And yeah, some throwback Kobe here. Year in review, Bryant All-Star debut, a very neat one. Raw, this card goes for like $6 or $7, but he had this collection for about 20 years in a closet, and he actually took really good care of them. But this one looked like the best one that could get a PSA 10. Anything less than a PSA 10 for this card might be pretty disappointing, and it'll be a loss, to be completely honest. And I am very, very confident that this will be a 10. 0 comps on this card in a 10, as far as I see for a recent sold. So excited where this price will go. Hopefully between 100 to 200. That's what I'm aiming for. Even if it ends up selling for like $60, we'll still be profiting if that could be a 10. The next one that he wanted as well is another Kobe Bryant card that I chose out. Again, recent comps for this card, not really the most expensive thing out there. 10, 15 bucks. Like I said, I broke the rule a few times in these submissions. This is actually lower than the threshold I was talking about. But because I think this is a 10, it is an older card. I know a lot of them exist, but not a lot of 10s exist. And that's what I'm aiming for here when I'm submitting things. You want things to be low population, and that's what will bump up the price of the card if it is low population. If you are grading something that everyone else is grading, especially from ultra modern, you may find that it might not sell for as much as you want because everyone did the same thing. Because this happens a ton with Pokemon when you're grading Charizards. Everyone's grading the same exact thing. And yeah. LaMelo Ball, again, Crown Royale this time. I've had this card for a while. We had success with our Gold Asia die cut in our last submission. So I was like, why not? Let's send another die cut here. I'm a big fan of LaMelo, obviously. Very popular. Next one up here is a Jalen Green pink laser. I do have the orange laser as well. I did not think the orange made the cut, although this one sells very well. And I also did not see any PSA 10s in the pink hollow laser. So I was thought to myself, why not? Pink is pretty close to a color match for the Rockets. It's on the same color wheel spectrum. And the orange sold for $160. So I thought, why not? Let's try the pink. Probably sells for around the same amount if it PSA 10s. And it does look very, very good. Next card up here is going to be a 1099. Sky's the limit. Lakers LeBron bought this for around $50. Right around that threshold I was talking about. It is an insert. Recon is not the most popular set out there. This is a... LeBron's my favorite player, right? This is more so a PC/investment piece. Because if he happens to retire, I think this card is going to go up a lot higher. But in 4 months' time, I expect this to be around $200 if it's a PSA 10. Like it a lot. It's in the blue jersey with the blue parallel. Color match. Can't beat that. A little bit more. These are just going to be cards that are more so for PC reasons. Unforgettable LeBron James from the Cavs. Photogenic. Again, big fan. Not numbered or anything. Just an insert. Raw sells for about $60 right now. We'll see how it goes in 4 months' time. Next two up here are some chalk tosses from Photogenic. Again, if you're not familiar with Photogenic, these cards are 55-point thickness. So they are a little bit thicker. They are a little bit harder to grade than 35. So you've seen how many thickies that I've sent in so far, including Recon. We'll see how these do. I do not see any currently sold for PSA 10. So really hoping that one of these come back a 10. I have 3 of these in total. These two look the best out of the 3. Last 3 cards here. Jalen Green from Recon. Just the base. Purely just the base rookie. Again, I'm just a fan of Jalen Green. So why not send him in? Green Prism. This one's actually surprising. Would you believe, as of this recording, that the last sold comps for this Prism Franz Wagner rookie is only 99 cents? That's insane to me. Absolute blasphemy. I believe that if this comes back a 10, this might be worth around $100, $110. Especially if he plays the way he did last season. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully the Magic can turn around their season. I did the purple wave. I thought later down the line, I was like, green? Sure, let's try the green. Why not? And for the last card, I didn't expect to send this in either, but it is a Trey Murphy III for the Pelicans, pure silver from Prism 2021-22. Now, why did I choose to send this card last? Well, purely because I think the Pelicans are going to have an insane season next year with Zion back, with CJ, with Brandon Ingram, with Jose Alvarado. I think that lineup is pretty stacked. Trey Murphy just needs to be able to do anything off the bench, honestly. Any type of useful stuff, and then if they make it far into the playoffs, I'm thinking like a year in the future here, this guy might have some hype. He sells decently well on eBay right now, so this could be, you know, one of those sleeper players to grade for PSA. So that was my 30 card submission. We're going to revisit this in about 4 months time. Hopefully it comes back earlier. There's a chance it might take 6 months because the holidays are around that time. But fingers crossed, of course. My usual success rate for submitting cards is 75%. So if we can get a little bit over 20 of these cards in a PSA 10, that would be absolutely incredible. So let me know what you guys think about what I am sending. Would you send the same stuff? What are you sending? I'm curious because a lot of people are going to be sending stuff with this discount occurring. It's never going to hit $8 again, but this is like the time to send things. So let me know what you guys are sending. I'm curious. And let me know what you think, how you think we're going to do. How many of these are going to come back at 10? And until then, like, comment, subscribe. I do pack openings, yada, yada, yada. Link in the description, Dripshop. Catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.